Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I made for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Round 6. This is day number 5. And I am using my October 2019 Counterfeit Kit Challenge Kit. Yes, it is 2020, October 2020, and yes, I did mean to say October 2019. I've had this kit sitting here for a long time and just haven't felt the need to use it right away. Plus, I've been using other kits, and so this is my oldest kit that I have on my shelf right now. So I thought, well, let me see if I can get this used up this month. Basically, a revisit of 2019 for 2020. So hopefully, I'm going to get this used up this month. Excuse me. Um, yeah, that paper there with the arrows all pointing towards a center little dot, that is probably one of my favorite pieces of paper out of the paper pad. I just love all that gold foiling and how they all point in one direction or to one center point. And so I'll get this layered up here. And I'll go through when I get done with the layout and add some washi tape around the cutout portion in the back. There I have two 6x6 pieces of paper from one of these 6x6 paper pads that I added, and I'm going to cut out a portion, a circular portion. I'm going to use my template to cut that out. Do you guys have templates, or do you freehand or cut everything with your Silhouette or Cricut? Yeah, I still pull out my templates to use them. I think it's probably one of the cheaper tools that I've purchased in my lifetime of scrapbooking, and one that I still consistently use the most. I love that color of blue. It matches my mother's photo that I'm going to scrapbook. And that I showed you was the color of the ink that I am using to go around that. I was going to stitch it. I saw somebody else on the Facebook group stitch that circle, and I thought, oh, I'll stitch it like that one. And then as I was starting to pull things together to use on this layout, I thought, probably not. Stitching takes time, and this is one of those layouts that I really didn't want to take a whole lot of time with. Now, I did use the back side of that pattern paper, and it's the one with the glasses. And that's okay. I'm not really going to use that front side as a whole piece. So to use the back side to trim down and use as a photo mat, I'm okay with. Even though the glasses one would be fantastic to work with, I don't know of a layout that I need to do that needs to have glasses on it. Because I was watching other people's videos and looking over on the Facebook group and seeing how many people were using doilies, I opted to pull a doily that I already had in my kit to use on this layout. And by the end of it, you can hardly see it, and that's okay. I'm good with that. Here I took a 6x6 piece of paper, cut it down to those two strips to span the length of the layout. I get that down, and I'm going to have to go back and change it in just a minute because I'm not really too neurotic about some things, but others I am, and having those all straight, yeah, I kind of need it to be straight. So I'm going to pull out some washi strips, and this is an old Felicity Jane washi strip sheet that I have here. And I'm going to use that piece there to put towards the bottom. And then because I don't have a long enough piece to go all the way across, I do have a piece of that same washi tape on another sheet. And I'm looking through my stuff. I have it spread all over. On those washi strips, now that's a small piece, and you might not save it, but of course I do. And so I'm glad that I did, that I had enough to go to span that length. That is actually that diagonal stripe one is one that I had from a kit that I did not use. And so I'm glad to finally get it used here. And again, because it was not long enough to span the distance, I just cut it apart to make it work. And here I'm taking another 6x6 sheet of paper. This one has a lot of 6x6. And I'm going to use a little bit at the top or at the bottom there. And because it's not quite long enough, as long as I want it to span the distance, I am going to place a piece more towards the bottom, and then I'll put the other one more towards the top. And then I'm looking at that piece there, and I fussy cut that out from that wood grain paper, and then I'm not going to end up using it. You can see it laying there. It turned out super cute once I fussy cut it out, but yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not going to go on this layout. Now, these flowers are flowers that I cut out from I had this original paper pack in I got it from a different, with a different kit. And so I've used that up, but I still had all of these floral pieces that I had fussy cut out. And so I'm just going through here and adding those pieces there. Now these pieces are some that I have recently stamped. They came out of my leftover bin or my leftover drawer, and I'm just going to go around and add some leaves. They are colored on watercolor paper, and they are gold embossed. The outline is gold embossed. I had made them for some cards that I created and had tons left over, so it felt really good to be able to use some of those up. Now you'll see there's some variations in the color down there because I had used several different colors to create these. And so as I'm going along here, I'm adding those down, and I'm just using some glue dots to press them down. Some of those flowers are up on foam adhesive, but most of them are flat against the page. Just the ones right down towards the bottom on the left are up on foam adhesive. Oh, those are just so pretty. Don't you love it when you create an embellishment and it's so pretty? So here I'm looking through my little bits and pieces of little flowers and deciding if I want to use anything else. And I just put it over to the side when I decide I'm done. And that's where I want to try and use that piece that I fussy cut out, and it's just not going to work. So I look and see what else I have pulled out. This is something, and I think I pull it up and show you the edging of it. I believe I have it left over from 2007. Yeah, 2007, and it's still in my stash. I purchased a whole roll of those fairly cheaply. It was like a couple of bucks for the entire roll of those flourishes. And yeah, I'm still using them after all these years. That's the other piece of washi tape that I had left over from a different kit. And so I'm going to place it down here, and I'll be glad to finally have used that as well. That looks like a little mustache. I don't know if that's what it was originally intended for, but I'm going to use it almost as leaves along here. That one again looks like another mustache, and I'm just going to cut it and again use it as little leaves. And then because all of those arrows are down, I pull some arrows out that I want to use. The last couple of pieces from that embellishment sheet that I want to get used, and I can call that embellishment sheet done. So I'm pulling out the alphabet stickers that I want to try and use for my title. Decide that the gold will take away because there's so much gold on the outline paper or the background paper. So I'm just going to go through and add this black font. And I'm trying to get the placement exactly where I want it. And you'll see I'll go through, and those longer letters, the foam sticks really well, even to the ruler. And so I lift up the edges a little bit, and then I smash everything back down. Now, because I moved that arrow down at the bottom, I had basically pulled that paper up some, and it created a little bit of a mess. So I carefully peeled that paper back off the sticker and just glued it down a little bit. I'm still going to cover it up with some embellishment. I'm going to put a little sticker tag down there and a little chipboard piece, and that'll cover it up well, and you won't even be able to tell it. And I'm just going to put my arrow in another location. You can see I've put one to the top and I've put one to the bottom. I'm going to pull out some wood veneer arrows that are up with my little potty people in that container at the top. And I'm just going to pull those in and use those all around the layout. I love, like I said, this is my favorite layout so far that I've created. I love all the colors and all the arrangement of everything in it. So yeah, I'm just going through making sure I have everything that I want there. I'm thinking about what else I want to add. I thought initially I might use some of those glitter circles that I had previously punched out, but instead I opted to pull in some brads and use those almost like you would enamel dots or liquid Nuvo drops or liquid pearls or something like that all around the floral clusters just to add some additional embellishment to it. And I think it looks so pretty in the end. And something that I didn't get put down on film anyway are some little butterflies that I had added into my kit. I go through and I add 3 little butterflies to the floral clusters along there. But this is basically towards the end of the layout. I will add some additional little arrowheads, if you will, some enamel triangles that I have around the edge of the paper where the arrows already are to kind of draw your eye in to the photo. We all love our embellishments and we really decorate our pages nicely, but if you think about it, really our focus should be on the photo and the stories. And I've tried to keep that in mind as I'm creating. Um, I want the photo to be your eye, the center of your eye, but I also want it to be very pretty around the photo, if that makes sense. So yeah, I finally got that done, used a ton of those little brads. There I'm adding a little chipboard piece. I'm actually going to end up putting that little chipboard lower, yeah, right there. And then I will add on those little triangle pieces that mimic the arrows. And it'll be a done layout. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys watching my video. I would love it if you flip me a thumbs up. Not mandatory, but definitely would make me happy. I always appreciate that. And if you're interested in watching videos that are use older stash, feel free subscribe to my channel, and that's what you'll see a lot of. Yeah, so I have close-ups at the end. And just again, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next layout. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.